What is up, my people? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. We lost Nez. He's there in the dark or something, but he's here. So too is Asif, as always. Of course, welcome in. And we have a lot to get through this evening. It's been a nice long week of football since last we spoke. Of course, Varsenal bringing tears to all the rival fans out there. Man City have destroyed Palace this evening and are looking forward to the FA Cup final at the weekend versus a team I thought was in the doldrums, in the dumps, but they go to Liverpool and Anfield and showed just a couple of days ago that perhaps it's Liverpool that are in the doldrums, in the dumps, and they have to play Aston Villa next in pretty much a showdown for the Champions League qualification places. And what is going on at Real Madrid? We will touch in on that on the end. But of course, what's up, Ali? Thanks for being here. Appreciate that. Go ahead and smash up the likes, everyone. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Share it across the socials, all that good stuff. Nez, you there?
Yes.
He is there. All right. He's got
there.
The camera turned off.
I thought he was just didn't want to show his face because
is my camera off? I can see me. My camera's on for me.
Well, you're just a black. It's a black screen for us. Are you in a tunnel? He might be in a tunnel.
I think he might be embarrassed because one of the greatest wingers in the league scored today, and after what you were saying, I owe Savinho an apology.
Hey, yeah,
yes.
I know you can't read that right now.
Hey, cut that out. Go ahead and stop that right now. Cut that out. No.
Looking forward to the I owe Savinho an apology stream.
That's this one right here.
No. There will be none of that. No. There will be none of that.
I thought you were just too embarrassed to show your face after Savinho, after you were slandering Savinho, and he pulled out a maestro performance today.
Is that what this is? Is that what this is, Nez? Savinho pulls out the goal of the season, goal of his life, definitely winning the Puskas award, and you're hiding in the tunnel.
It was messy like how he just.
Are we serious right now? Hold on, man. See, now y'all play. Hey, man, my camera is 1,000% on right now.
There he is.
Can you not see me?
We can see you now.
Cut that out. Ain't no way. No. We're not going to do that. No. We're not going to do that. We don't owe Savinho anything.
We don't owe Savinho anything, he says. All right. Well, we'll definitely and then it just cuts him off. Right when he says we don't. I don't know if the internet agrees with that one, but we will, of course, get there. Of course, we have lots to get to, so we'll get right into it. Arsenal beat West Ham 1-0 on Sunday, bringing lots and lots of rival tears. I certainly enjoyed the meltdown over a correct VAR call, but I did speak on the post-game show. Some who were there may know my thoughts. It's the two of your thoughts who I'd like to get. Asif, kick us off, man. What'd you think of possibly one of the biggest VAR calls in VAR history?
Right. I've got a few points going on now. So
let's hear it.
Just first of all, with regards to the VAR call, obviously, big talking moment. That's probably the biggest moment of the game. You guys were all over them, but yeah, they came back into the game. I think it was a foul, personally, on the keeper. I'm not saying it wasn't. Why is consistent with fouls against goalkeepers? But I don't like the fact that they have a big advantage over outfield players when it comes to fouls. If you're going to come out for the ball, you're going to expect some contact. I'm not saying it wasn't a foul, but you have to expect contact. That being said, there were numerous fouls going on at the same time. There was Rice, the Mavropanos, that could have been. But if you look systematically chronologically which foul came first, etc. You have to do it that way. Yes, it was the correct decision in that aspect. However, this is what I'm going to say. It might sound a bit controversial to some people. I'm sure people have heard this, but the original decision given by the referee should not be changed unless the video review clearly shows that a decision was a clear and obvious error. And this is my point. It wasn't clear and obvious. It took them 17 replays. So just from that, it's not, by definition, it is not clear and obvious.
Well, what is the definition of clear and obvious? I think that has gotten so
clear. I understand, but 17. Come on, Jake. You know.
I mean, you heard the audio, right?
Yeah, I've heard what they've said, but this guy, the referee had a cue. If you looked at the, I've got it down here as well because I wanted to make my point. The guy actually said in. Let me just bring this up when I can.
Did you happen to watch the mic'd up thing with Howard Webb and Michael Owen?
No, I can't say I did. Yeah, because if you read it, he was saying, the AVAR guy, Akil Howson, was saying to him, you've got Declan Rice and you've got Trossard. He was like, I don't know what you're trying to show me. Give me a clue. That's what Kavanagh was. This is word by word.
Mm-hmm.
After being asked to look at Trossard potentially shoving Pablo into Raya, Kavanagh says, I don't think there's much in that at all. I'm happy with that. He actually says this. This is word by word. He was also asked to review a potential foul by Rice on Mavropanos, to which he replied, but the foul happens on the goalkeeper before.
Right.
And going back on this, the map out, it took 4 minutes and 17 seconds between Wilson firing into the back of the net and a foul being awarded, with 17 replays reviewed in the process. So that's my clear and obvious. I don't think it was. I'm not saying it wasn't a foul. Yes, it was. But clear and obvious, it wasn't. So
I think that's one of the biggest things that all of the different, not just this one, but all of the different incidents should result in at the end of the season review. It is, can you at least put out to the public, to the fans, what you mean when you say clear and obvious? You think that definition should be self-evident, but not based on the things we're seeing.
This is my point, and I'm sure. Bowen said the same thing. No consistency in the way it's been happening and the way they've been given. For example, I know a lot of people have been talking about this as well. They talk about the game against Aston Villa when Gabriel elbowed Raya. If you're going
Martinez,
if you're going by consistency, you have to. How come that can stand and that can't? And
there's a clear difference for me.
Yeah, there's a.
We haven't. Nobody's pulled. We didn't pull on Martinez's arm, and when Saliba did it to Baynder in the first game of the season, which is obviously going to come up as another example of this, he let go before the ball was even near them. That's the main difference.
No, I understand, but yeah, you're holding someone's arm. Okay, fine, fair enough. But an elbow is even worse.
I agree.
If he connected properly, bang, that's his nose or facial socket or something like that. Gone. With no offense to Arsenal, I'm a neutral, but I don't think Gabriel should have even been playing in that game.
Oh, you're 100% right with that. No, there's no denying that. Like they definitely gave us one when Gabriel headbutted Haaland. I have zero defense for that because that's just is what it is. You know, he should have been sent, should have had a 3-game ban. That's for sure.
And the other thing is, in regards to why they're not getting as much sympathy, Arsenal, at the moment. in my opinion, it's the way they play. It's you're pushing the boundaries in regards to the laws on how to, in regards to set pieces and stuff like this, and this is why teams won't have sympathy for you guys if it happens to you,
right?
In next game or the game after or whenever and I'm not a fan of Arteta on the touchline going right next to and he's been really. I noticed some of the stuff.
I mean, Klopp pulled his hamstring one time running down the sideline.
No, I understand, and I'm not saying that, but even the okay, I'm just going to read this as well. He's been more yellow. He's had the most yellow cards from every manager.
Okay, sure.
Despite his efforts to improve, apparently, his behaviour has been labelled by the Ref Support UK CEO as the worst in the Premier League.
Of course it has.
And yeah, I'm not saying it's not saying I'm not saying but the way they're doing it, they're not going to get much sympathy. If you're pushing the boundaries of set pieces and something like that, and then something like this happens, obviously public opinion is not going to be on your side. If you're always on that verge of going over but not crossing the line, and then in regards to your set pieces, and then something like this similar happens, that's my point.
I hear it for sure. I think the only thing I'll push back on is the consistency is there in that they don't ever and have not ever let anyone pull the arm of the goalkeeper. And I will say from the audio, the very first thing that they say is, oh, it might be something on Raya. Now, the one that no one's talking about that actually happened before the incident on Raya himself was that Havertz and whoever went down in a heap. Both of them. I don't know if it was they're both. I haven't seen that bit. I haven't. No one ever focuses on that. But there was like a struggle, a tussle there, and then I've also seen an angle where Pablo's left arm, right, is holding Raya's left arm, but also his right arm is disappeared, and he's grabbing Trossard's jersey. He's pulling on Trossard at the same time Trossard is wrapped him, So I 100% agree that we've gotten away with some pretty, as you say, on the edge things in the box for these corner kicks to get our 17 goals we've scored from corners this season or whatever. But at no point has anyone been able to get away with pulling on the goalkeeper's arm while he's trying to catch the ball. And the VAR guys immediately saw that, But I do agree that the whole clear and obvious thing is like this comment here, it's just an out. VARs have put them in a box to be perfect every match. And I think that it's not perfect, but they need to keep improving.
With the amount of controversy VAR's had, I think it's better just to do away with that technology, have it again, like with the refs, because this was supposed to eliminate this sort of issue.
I think one thing that could help, maybe a step before just eliminating it, is bring in a third party to operate the VAR, to be in. That's not the guys that are at Stockley Park. Why those shouldn't be the same group of people that ref the games on the field, I feel like. And I think that there's a little bit of stuff in there that, some human psychology to it, where I don't want to embarrass my friend, or I don't want to, my colleague here. I don't want to put him in a crazy tough spot in front of Diego Simeone screaming at him from 4 feet away. I don't want to put him in this spot where if he makes the wrong call or whatever, or if he, pulls something back that is very close and it's subjective or whatever, and now he's villain, public enemy number one. And so they're like, you know what, we'll just keep it moving, keep it hot. don't worry about it. We'll stick with the on-field decision. But I do think that in the next season, as far as the clear and obvious thing goes, why not be a timer? Like you said, like your point, why not have a timer? If it takes more than 30 seconds, then it's not clear and obvious. And
exactly.
And one thing I've heard about from different podcasts that I listen to, big up Big Steve over on the Big Six. He was talking about this the other night, where the people in the stands, like the match going fans, who are the ones that are actually paying everybody's salaries, for the most part, they are the last ones to know what's going on. They're the absolute last ones to know what's actually happening. Me and you, we got 97 replays. We can see it from 17 different angles. We got all the camera angles, all the different things. We can hear the commentate, because the commentators, at least on NBC, have the VAR in their ears. So they're listening to the VAR conversation and relaying stuff to the broadcast, right? But you don't have that in the stands. So they have to wait 5 minutes or whatever. And then all they get, especially from Chris Kavanaugh, some of them are more descriptive, but Chris Kavanaugh is just like, number 19 fouled the goalkeeper. Free kick. What? So the people in the stands are having to get on their phone or whatever, or, because did they even show the replay on the Jumbotron, on the big screen? So I think they got the right call, but I think there's a lot that VAR can fix, for the next season.
No, I think going back to your point, okay, if it's taking longer than that's what they should introduce, because if you're taking 4 minutes for decision, it's not clear and obvious. It's as simple as that. I'm sorry, and I do agree it was a foul, but if it's taking that long to make up your mind, it's not clear and obvious. So you either do away with that rule and then okay, fine, or if you want to take put a time limit on it, that's fine as well, but do something to stop this from happening again, and it's not just about Arsenal, this is about West Ham as well, because that point would have done a lot for them as well, for relegation wise. I know you see it from an Arsenal point of view, but I try to see it from a West Ham point of view as well. It could be the difference for them between relegation and staying in the Premier League.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you never want such big things to be decided on, a refereeing decision. But conversely, just to play devil's advocate, there has to be a balance, right? Because you want to get the right call. That at the end of the day is the whole point of bringing in the VAR technology, is to get the right call. And so some people would say, F it. If it takes 5 minutes to get the right call, get the right call. Personally,
but that's not
it damages the game. I think it damages the game.
And you're waiting 5 minutes for first you have the goal, and then you stopping the play, etc. And then it takes so long. It takes out the spirit of the game when it comes to stuff like that. And then you're just waiting. Then you celebrate again after. It's ridiculous.
It's weird. It's a weird double celebration. Also, I think that back in the day when there was no VAR, if you're playing Sunday League or whatever, one thing that one of my coaches used to say to us when we would get upset with the referee, he didn't get the call, or he didn't see the guy pull my jersey or whatever. My coach would just be like, look, man, he didn't see it. Get on with it. He didn't see it. Get on with it. And we would just get on with it, And back in the day, if you missed an offsides call or whatever, oh, well, he missed that one, and that happens to everybody. And that was the attitude. But instead of the attitude changing from, oh, well, VAR is getting all these calls right, it's, well, VAR messes up for everybody. So it's the same thing. You know what I mean? So I don't think we can ever go back, though, is the issue. I don't think we're ever, I don't think we will ever go back. I think we could, but I don't think we will.
I'm personally not a fan of VAR. I think it takes away from the spirit of the game. I used to enjoy football a lot more when I'm not looking at the screen thinking, "Come on, ref."
Yeah, but let's go today. Yeah, I understand. I absolutely understand. But apart from that, I thought we played well for spells of that game. I think that the substitution when Ben White got hurt was baffling. I tried to reason it out. Miles Lewis Kelly's playing good. He doesn't want to pull him off. And so he just why he doesn't just bring Mascara is what I'm just like.
Maybe there was an issue we didn't know about. I don't know.
But then he brings him on at halftime. He kind of rectifies the whole situation. But I think we were in a dominant, kind of phase in the ascendancy, and the injury he thought that we would push on and continue that momentum, and so left Miles Lewis Skelly. This is what I think. Obviously, I'm not in Arteta's head, but he wanted to keep that momentum going, and so he thought that Rice would invert, and we weren't getting attacked down that wing at all. So he thought that Rice would be in the midfield still, and we'd still have that midfield impetus and overload going forward, and it just kind of didn't work. I don't know if we lost the impetus because we were sitting there waiting around so long for Ben White to receive treatment or what happened, but it just didn't materialize. Obviously, what was in Arteta's head to try and maintain what we were doing. And so it looked really weird.
No, and like I mentioned this before when you're on the point of Arsenal, I used to really be a fan of your football as a neutral. And yeah, honestly, at the moment, it's not very fun watching you guys play. I know Wenger and Henry have said more or less the same thing about. Yeah, exactly. Wenger and Henry have said the same thing about how Arsenal play at the moment. And no, I understand. It's a more pragmatic way of playing. It reminds me a lot more of when Mourinho was at Chelsea. I think they were more of a it reminds me of that. And even some of the bending, inside of the rules, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Not
the dark arts.
The dark arts, not getting the ball boys to give the ball back as quick, stuff like that. I think, Arsenal have put the got the manual and improved upon it a little bit. And
adding our own flavor.
Not really. It's not as a neutral. I don't. It's difficult to see that sort of ball. I know it's functional, it works, whatever, but and it's a bit of a contrast, tell you the truth, in the Champions League final that's going to be coming up from PSG.
Stark.
How they play. It's like a lot of that'll be a lot more. Bit more. They can do a bit of everything. Those guys I've watched them play this season. They can go direct. They can go. Sometimes they can play different. I know Luis Enrique has gotten playing different kinds of football, like what he did against Bayern. They were expecting him to go play an open game, and he just timed up when he wanted to.
Yep.
And, I can see that happening. We'll see what happens in the Champions League final. I think, I do. But I was telling Nez the other day, I do think PSG have to be my favourites for the Champions League. Yeah. The odds. I know we don't condone betting, but the odds are looking pretty good on PSG.
Just gamble responsibly. I don't mind betting. Just gamble responsibly. Yeah, of course. But it's interesting. We'll definitely see. Has Asif? Have we lost Asif now? We gained Nez and we lost Asif.
Man, that car stuff was crazy, man.
Yeah, it wasn't working out. But I think that we'll obviously see about the we'll absolutely have to see about the Champions League final. and how we approach that and how they approach that. But of course, I think that Trossard stepping up to get this goal after not scoring for 25 games. Is he back? No, he's smiling. He's definitely smiling there on the big screen.
Yeah, that's what I see.
But I think that a lot of we've done this double thing that we do sometimes. There he is. Yeah, he's back. No worries. But yeah, I think that Arteta he figured it out, and credit to him for realizing that what he was doing had really just not worked and lost all impetus. And so as the game went on, we've kind of solved what we'd done to ourselves. I don't know that Gyökeres was terrible. Saka was not good at all. I definitely thought Gyökeres worked hard and was certainly putting the shift in. Saka was not great. But you got to give it up to Martin Odegaard for coming on and changing the game. A lot of people, myself included, have, given criticism his way this season, and he's had a poor season, of course, but to come in there in that moment and just put in, 20 minutes he played, got the goal, and then obviously massive goal. You saw the way they were celebrating. Absolutely loved it. I was celebrating the same, of course. And then we've circled back around now that Nez has arrived. And whenever you're ready, buddy, we'll get what you thought about the old VAR call.
It's funny because you know how I function. I avoid doing hate watches. It just doesn't feel natural to me. So I watch a game, but I avoid doing a hate watch, right? But just because I think that's against the energy that I function on. So with that being said, I did go back and watch the replay, and I went back and forth in my brain about, how do I feel about it, right? So the first thing I saw, and I'm being honest, is I was okay. I get what they're talking about. It was a foul because it was. So I sent that to you in the group chat, man. Yeah. I thought it was a foul. So I'm like, okay, there's a foul there. Fair enough. But then, similar to what the referee said in the audio, there was a lot of fouls. So I was like, at that point, then it's about, which one do you call? And so I think, Jake, you mentioned there was a foul on Rice early, which it was at the beginning of the play. There was a foul on Rice, but then
it was actually Havertz that
went down first. Well, Havertz got fouled, but then I guess Rice then fouled two guys after that. I don't know if sequentially that's how it went, but I know Rice fouled two guys, and then Trossard basically was like, hey, he was in the Oklahoma drill where he was like this, and then he had dude, and he shoved him into the keeper. And so I looked at it and I said, okay, well, if the question at hand is, did he foul the goalkeeper? Well, yes, he fouled the goalkeeper. Now, if I'm a referee or an official of a game, specifically the head one, I'll say, well, what caused that foul? And if I look at what caused the foul, Trossard drove him into him. Now, again, again, it was a foul. I'm going back to over and over as a foul, but Trossard drove him into the keeper, and Raya, to his credit, he did get to the ball. So he got two hands on the ball, right? But then when the guy is getting pushed back, he throws his arm back because just sort of thinking of humans, if I get pushed backwards and I hit somebody, then it's very likely my arms extend. So he did grab his arm. So all of the stuff that people are saying did happen. He grabbed his arm and he fouled him. And now the reason he fouled him, I guess, is a foul, but that's not what the head referee did. Now, and again, I tried to avoid looking at other people's opinions about it. I just wanted to see what happened itself. And I mean, in my opinion, Trossard causes the foul, but it is a foul. And if the referee says, hey, because the referee literally said, hey, well, he threw it off when they brought the Trossard thing to him. So, I mean, what can I do if he doesn't account for the Trossard thing? Then he can't account for what Trossard did. So then you can't account for that. So then if it's just the action of the person, then it's a foul. And so at the end of the day, I look at it and say, hey, they're not going to change the call. So we just have to start there. They're not changing the call. They came out, said we made this mistake and that mistake until they actually take points from somebody for the mistakes they own, which they're never going to do because they'll get sued.
They'll never do that.
They'll get sued. And so because they're never going to do that, you just have to let it stand. Right now, I mean, for West Ham, and this is where, and I mentioned this to Asif, me and Asif were talking about some other stuff, but I said this, and I think this is a real thing, is that there is crying. I agree there's crying, but, the crying is kind of legitimate. People say, well, there's crying. Well, if you hit me in the knee with a baseball bat and I cry, it's because I have a legitimate reason to cry, right? Let's not pretend that all crying is equal, right? So they have a legitimate reason to feel aggrieved, but their reason is the fact that, and I'm being honest about this, if they recognize, if the Premier League or the PGMOL comes out and says, hey, we made a mistake on this play, a play that would have gave West Ham 1 point and kept them within 1 point of Spurs, who didn't capitalize on their game, now you're realistically saying that their mistake that they may admit to, that they're probably now not going to do, will cost them somewhere around 30, 40 million just right now. And if I'm West Ham, I'm significantly angry about that. And so then what essentially happens is now you have the similar to the Mbappe campaign, get Mbappe out the club. Now you have 18 other Premier League teams who feel aggrieved. Now, here's the thing, and Jake, you know this, has Arsenal done the dark arts in corners? Absolutely. Are there people who have been complaining and et cetera about them? Yes. And is it something to complain about? To a degree, yes. But I'll say this. If you didn't do something about that 35 games prior in all the other instances it happened, why all of a sudden are we going to do something now? And I'm not talking about calling the foul. I'm talking about why was this one the one where you said, I'm drawing the line because they get away with stuff? And so because that's the case, I'm going to go back, and I've said this to friends, and Donnie gave me an interesting point too. You got to play the game on the field, man. That's it. I mean, and I'm being 1,000% honest. There's 2 games left. Arsenal have to win both games. And I'm not saying that to be funny. Jake, you know this. They must win 2 games. If they draw any one of those games, at the end of the day, thank you, Ali. But at the end of the day, none of it will matter. And I look at it like this because my biggest issue, and I know I've said this to the Chief, my biggest issue with people complaining about stuff, of other teams cheating is if you're cheating and it's off the field, I feel a very different way than you being accused of cheating on the field. Because cheating on the field literally affects the integrity of how the game is played. If you do some side stuff, that's different, because that doesn't have a direct impact on the ball going in the net. And if that doesn't have a direct impact on the ball going in the net, then you can't really get me. That's perceived sort of infractions. What people are complaining about are real infractions. And I'm not saying I'm on one side or the other. But I'm going to stand with, after, thinking through this, it just got to be on the field, man. At the end of the day, it has to just be on the field. Now, Jake, you and I, we've had, and Asif was here, we've had this conversation about, if Man City were to catch charges and get points deductions in this season, that Arsenal would feel, if Arsenal were obviously the benefactors of this, Arsenal would feel aggrieved of their title will absolutely have an asterisk on it because of that, right? I
don't want that to happen. No, absolutely not.
And so that's the point. So, but then I look, what's essentially happening is that the officials, rightly or wrongly, because Arsenal has been wronged in this season as well, too. So we're not going to pretend like everything goes Arsenal's way. So because we'll make sure that's the line. Also, based on this specific game and the way it's been handled by officials, if they do go on, there's gonna be questions about their season, and that's and while I'm sure they'll be happy for it, it still has to feel a way in the sense of City had to go through a season where the Premier League dropped some stuff on them during the treble winning season. They said, "Hey, XYZ," and then they won the league, and it was like, you know what? At the end of the day, F this, man. We just got to play. And they won the league. And while nobody talks about that specific season, the season they won the treble, they forgot that same season, they dropped all kinds of stuff on them in the middle of the season. And you just won. So if Arsenal win and they win out, then they are the champions. And that's that. You just leave it like that. Now, again, if they drop points and the City does what, they know they also need to do, then, it is what it is. I mean, at this point, what my issue is that, and I get the point that people are making, because Arsenal can make this point too, is we got to have consistency, man. Because Donnie said something to me that I thought was very important. I don't know if Donnie's watching, but I want to give him credit for this.
Big up, Donnie.
Because I kind of knew it, but I didn't know it. In the NBA, when they go to review a play, they go to review it, and then an official says, "Hey, that play call was wrong," and that's it. And in the Premier League, they pick what they showed the official, and then the official gets to pick it. And if that's indeed the case, it does not matter what they show the official, because the official can be like, "Hey, I don't care." And I'm going to use an example because I'm using this example because of the example I used. They mentioned Trossard to the official. We all saw Trossard with his back to the goal push the guy. Now, again, the extent is the extent. The official, they mentioned it. The official was like, "Oh, that's nothing." If you say that's nothing, then you can't account for anything else that connected to that. And so so it's to this point. What is VAR for if you're not making the call? You can't call. Why are you saying the assistant referee is there to then to say what the official can make the call? Because we talked about this early in the season. They wouldn't like it because if it undermines the official, then why are they going to do it? Baseball is facing this exact thing too, and I don't know if anybody knows about that, where the computer system literally does it. If it's outside of the zone, I
learned about this the other night.
I
watched the Braves game and learned about this. Yeah.
It's immediately reversed, and now you have some serially bad referees who are being undermined because if you get the challenge right, you keep it.
Yep.
And when they know it's a bad umpire, they're showing them up. And the thing is, because I was at a game yesterday, they immediately changed. They don't even ask the official anything.
He's not a part of it. The ump's not a part of it. Yeah.
You get to make the call, the initial call. If it's wrong, the player says, "Hey, I need you to look at that." They look at it. They put it on the computer. The computer don't have no bias. It's taking what the image it sees, and it says it's a ball or a strike. Oh, it's a ball. It's a ball. And it's over. There's no discussions anymore. And so then it goes, because I heard parts of you saying a clear and obvious thing. Then we get rid of that. Because why did that take 14,000 minutes to do that? Why? So with that being said, I'm done with the VAR decision. If VAR continues to be bad and Arsenal is able to carry on in the season, I do. And I say this with true honesty. It'll suck that if that's the way people frame your thing, but you earned it, that'll be a black mark on it. It'll suck if that's the case. Because I just think that we know that the officials shouldn't matter in the game. For example, Jake, I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if you guys talked about Champions League. Apparently the official who's refereeing the Champions League final is the referee who did the second leg of the Arsenal Atleti game. And so now people are like, "Oh, see, that shouldn't play a role in the damn game at all." I don't give a who is the referee. Let them play. Either you're going to let them play physical or you're not. Make the decision from the beginning, and then call it how you call it. If you're gonna let them tussle in the box, then let them. If you're gonna call fouls in the box, then call them every time. But you can't do this. Maybe, I don't know, etc. That's to me that's silly, and that's all I got.
So I'll start my response by saying your thoughts and arguments are articulate and precise as always. One thing I will say, Trossard pushing Pablo doesn't make him grab Raya's arm and not let go. And secondly, I
have to disagree with that one, Jake. If someone pushes you, if you're backwards, then you put people.
Yeah, you do this. You don't latch onto somebody's arm and pull it down.
But I don't know about you. If you ever been pushed, you grab onto whatever you can grab onto.
And that's why I said he grabbed him. He did grab him. He absolutely grabbed him. He absolutely grabbed him.
I don't know.
If I'm in my house and I'm falling down, yeah, I'm grabbing stuff. But if I'm on a soccer field and I'm falling down, there's normally nothing to grab. I'm not grabbing things.
Wait, hold on, Jake. So if you're jumping in the air and you get pushed, you're not going to grab anything?
No.
If you're falling backwards in the air.
What is there to grab?
No, Jake, they've got people.
A person. That's what I'm saying. He did it.
And it's a foul. And that's a foul.
But I said that. I said he did it. Like, I'm not questioning that. He grabbed him. He did.
Well, I'm just saying you were intimating that Trossard caused the foul as if he had, like in other instances we've seen where one dude pushes one guy, clear push, and that guy goes tumbling into the next dude's legs, and it's a foul against the dude who took out the man on the ball but he was pushed by the other guy. But that doesn't. We've seen that a bunch of times.
I'm not saying he wasn't a foul, Jake. I'm just saying that's a natural.
No, I know.
Reaction.
The only point I'm getting at is Trossard pushing him. I don't agree that Trossard pushing him made him not let go of Raya's hand when Raya was trying to catch the ball. That's my only point there. And I will say that there has been consistency, Nez, on you've never seen a goal given when somebody's arm is pulled while the goalkeeper is trying to catch the ball.
But
we've never done that.
That foul, to your point,
we've never done that.
But to your point, for that kind of thing, that doesn't happen a lot. So we don't have anything to pull from so you can use that stat, but that stat is like a one-off stat that doesn't happen. So,
but that's what happened this time, though.
No, but I agree. But the thing about it is that, but then we can go and we can pick individual fouls where stuff like that doesn't happen. Like, for example, if we're just using anything in the box, Declan Rice is one, right, where he grabs on the guy and he does like that. Well, that's clearly a handball. It's like, I mean, there's no reason to turn your arm that way, but that's what he did because he knew where the ball was and they didn't call anything, right? And I didn't complain about it because I said, you know what? That's up to the discretion, right?
It happened after though. It was, you have to do chronological order.
But I'm not talking about the same game. I'm talking about different.
Oh.
So it's a different. I'm talking about the one where Declan Rice. I think it was the Chelsea game where he was on the guy's back and he turned his elbow to hit the ball, and then later he's like, I didn't do that, but he did. Like, and he was like, I didn't do it on purpose. But here's the thing:
that doesn't matter.
Fouls don't matter if they're on purpose.
Right.
That's why I said to you, the guy did grab his arm. Did he do it on purpose? He probably was doing it because he was falling backwards for whatever thing that made him fall backwards. But it is what it is, right? And so the thing is that how often do we see players get on somebody's shoulder and do like we don't see those fouls. So I mean, again, I get you. He fouled him. I'm gonna leave it there. He fouled him.
Yeah. Anyways, I think we, like you said, we just have to move on. The whole footballing world has to move on. But I do think that VAR themselves in the end of season review, they really need to think about what clear and obvious actually means. And I mentioned it to Seif, I don't know if you caught this, because the people who the game is really for, the people in the stands, are the last to know about what anything is going on. And so what's actually happening in the game, I get it. All the money comes from TV deals these days. I understand that, but the game is meant to be for the people who go, the match goers. They're the ones filling filling the stadium, and keeping these clubs in business. And so I think that they do need to maybe focus on how the spirit, things need to get back to the spirit of the game. The game was not meant to stand around for 10 minutes waiting on VAR calls. So I definitely would be just fine if the clear and obvious became defined as, if it takes 30 seconds plus, then it's not clear and obvious, and you stick with whatever the guy on the field said. And that used to be okay. That used to be fine. Oh, well, he missed this one, human error, and we all moved on. So why not just stick with, make it a hard line, make a hard line and say, look, if it takes more than 45 seconds, whatever. So just make a hard line and execute. Stick to it.
In my opinion, it should take a maximum of 2 minutes to do a replay. If you can't see it in 2 minutes, whatever the call is the call. Finished. Now, does that lend itself to the referee all of a sudden not understanding? But then it goes back to the issue that if you're going to use a video assistant referee, like they all use automatic offsides, then you need to use that too. Like, stop playing with the technology where you're cherry picking it. Hey, if this goes to the cameras got it now. Period. Just leave it there.
I agree.
Leave it.
Yeah, JT, we absolutely did hear the VAR audio, and I think I was happy that they put that out. I was also happy with what Howard Webb said on Mic'd Up. Obviously, Michael Owen. See, I like this too. Well, no slow-mos. No, they need to see the slow-mos. That's the whole point of getting.
That's why that's why I say 2 minutes. I think 2 minutes show the slow-mo, and you got to know what you're going in for too, because it's also an NBA thing, right? Like that, you have to, or NFL challenge.
This is true as well.
What's that?
The first thing the VAR guy said was might be a foul on Raya. That was the very first thing in the audio. The rest of the stuff was looking at all the other crap.
Yeah, but that's thing about it is
still too long.
But even then, I think that's I agree and disagree for this. If they saw the foul on Raya, fine. But they just because they didn't say it didn't mean they saw the others, because they clearly expressed there's a lot of fouls. So they saw the other fouls. It wasn't like it took them multiple times to see the other fouls. They saw all of the fouls. What they were trying to determine was which one happened first, the other ones or the foul on Raya, which is I agree is the correct thing. Because if the foul on Raya happened first, all other stuff doesn't matter. Period.
I disagree with the point over there. What's the point of why if they're under time pressure? Well, I mentioned it earlier. I'm not sure if he saw it, but clear and obvious error. That's the
and also I get his point. Where it's pressure, but it was already pressure to make the call. Like, think about this, man. They talk about pressure. Think about how many games where we've watched the end of the game, and we see a foul in the box, and it's a close game, and then they say, well, do they want the game to end like that? There's that pressure there all the time. So let's not pretend like that doesn't happen. I prefer the pressure of, hey, did you make that call on the field? Okay, you made it. Now the pressure is, do I hold it? Or do I change it? That's it. That's the only pressure. The pressure should be, is it the right call or the wrong call? Can I tell what it is in under 2 minutes? If I can, cool. If I can't, I just have to look.
How can it be clear and obvious if you don't have time to look at it? That's the whole point. You shouldn't go to VAR then.
Because it's clear. Literally, it's the whole point of clear.
I agree. There is a balance, of course. JT is looking at it from the angle of there is this balance that needs to be had, because the whole point of VAR is to get the call right. But like I said, like I've said before, if we're splitting hairs down to, okay, Trossard pushed Pablo a millisecond before or after he's pulled Raya, and we're like, oh well, it's really, like we're getting into just, we're just getting into stuff that's.
But it's also like, think about it. I think we've had the discussion before where, you said, like we've talked about offsides, and they use VAR, and it's like a shoestring. Come on, man. Like that, that's what we're going for. So now all of a sudden a shoestring or a shadow is what it is, or the angle of the camera. So first of all, officiating is an imperfect sport. Let's just go ahead and own that. So it's an imperfect thing anyways. So there will always be errors. And so the errors we're looking for is, did you miss a clear and obvious mistake? That's all it is. And if it's not clear and obvious, the mistake I made as an official, then it's done. If I got to use the 360 zoom AI camera, then now we've lost the game, and you don't even need the officials on the field. Just let computers.
No. It's VAR was implemented in the first place. No, VAR takes the thing out of the sport. When it comes to decisions, sometimes you disagree with it, you'd agree with it, you'd go in at work and you think, oh, did you see that game? What shit? What happened there? But they're still doing that. Do you see Sesko?
It hasn't changed.
Yeah,
it hasn't changed.
It still hasn't changed anything. Sesko with his finger of God the other week.
The finger roll of Chamberlain, I'm calling it. The Wilt Chamberlain finger roll.
And then they screwed us. So, and they're talking about and they're apologizing afterwards. What's the point? What is that?
In addition to your finger thing, so again, let's use a clear and obvious thing. We see it hit his hand, right? Now the question is, it hit his hand. Did he do that on purpose or not? That's all I'm trying to see. All I'm trying to see is did it hit me and it hit my hand like this? And did I do like that, right? Because if it just hits my hand and it rolls down, I can't do anything with that. But you saw there was a change. And at that point, you're like, okay, he tried to do that. Even if that was like a natural tick where, hey, something hit me here and I just do that. You still did it. Clear and obvious, it's done. That's what you did. Leave it alone. But it shouldn't take me 4 hours to do that. Because at that point, now you've completely stopped the game. And now we're killing everything.
JT, what we're saying hasn't changed is the fact that we're still sitting here going, well, VAR gets it wrong for everybody. Just the same as we were doing 15 years saying, well, Simon Hooper gets it wrong for everybody.
Now, what I will say is VAR is great on goal line technology. Absolutely beautiful for that. That works. And I think Ali said it on offside.
Red cards.
And red cards. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Issuing apologies almost every other week now.
But unfortunately,
go ahead.
I don't think we're going back though.
No. You know what this makes me concerned about?
It's making it a bit more robotic. It's making it a bit more robotic. You're taking the emotion as like out of the game. I don't know. People,
but see, that's so to the point about that criticism of the usage of VAR is the thing. So if it goes to the computer, whatever the computer says is it, then just do that. That's actually VAR. And I gave the baseball example. Basketball has just do that. Because what they keep doing is they're putting it back in the referee's hand.
Yeah, and let me challenge this when he says,
Ali, I was watching ball 15 years ago.
I was
buddy.
watching it for 15 years ago, mate. Yeah. Okay, I agree with you. But you're talking about waiting 5 minutes to celebrate a goal. You scored, you celebrate, and then you have to wait 5 minutes to celebrate again. And then you're just, oh shit, does that feel like a normal game of football that you used to play as a kid?
Fair enough.
But I think what it does is somebody mentioned this to me about
it as well.
What it does is it influences, and I know we made a sort of a passing mention about betting. This is where this is where I prefer the technology to make the decision over the human, because this plays a role in betting. Because now we're covering things where how has the referee been influenced in that? That if the computer's doing it automatically, there's no referee influence at all. Cut that out. Like I don't want to hear about that, because here's what I'm being 1,000% about. We've already seen what's going on in the leagues. When the World Cup comes, and they already talked about adding a bunch of stuff, I'm telling you right now, I already feel like this is going to be the most corrupt World Cup ever. But I think the way that to JT's point about the human element of VAR, the human element of VAR is going to, in my opinion, probably be disgusting in the World Cup, because you will see the influence and bias, and I think that is awful. If you're going to use it, you have it's a computer. Let the computer tell you. Computer. All I need you to tell me, computer.
At the moment, what's fair? Okay, yeah, you might get some calls, but you're still having that talking point. Fairness. It's not sacrificing fairness. Not at this moment in time. No.
Anyway, we're wandering down a long dark path here.
We go on something else.
The only other point I want to mention here in the Arsenal section is I think we're going to smash Burnley. I think that we looked at what you did today, and this will be a nice little segue. What you've done today versus Palace, and we're like, all right, we'll just go out and do our job. The only reason I did a watch along today was I was like, well, if they drop points, then we can win on Monday. But I think we'll just handle business versus Burnley, and I will, of course, do a more in-depth preview of that one closer to the game. So I think we'll go ahead and move on, since we spent quite some time on Varsenal today. Man City dominate Crystal Palace. It wasn't necessarily a dominating performance, but a very efficient, finishing, clinical performance, I would call it. What you saying, Ness?
You guys love to do the setup. Let's just go straight to the whale, elephant, gorilla in the room.
Yeah, let's do it.
First of all, I got to see the game, and I saw that there was a change in lineup, man. But
lots of 7 changes.
I saw Savinho in there, and I'm like,
yes, you put that yeah, that's it. That's what we want to talk about.
Now, and I'm glad, because I'm ready to share with you exactly what I did the entire game when I watched him. So here's what happened. First, I didn't know Savinho was on the field. Then I saw him, and I said, "Oh, is that Savinho?" And then this is when they were going left to right. So they played the ball to his side. The defenders did not double him or anything. So I'm like, all right, take your guy on, because the guy was giving him space, and Savinho did a little jink, and then he stepped, and then he passed it backwards. I'm like, I know this ain't going to just do this the whole game. And they passed him the ball 6 more times, and he did the exact same thing. And so then I was like, hey, man, take on your guy, because if you just keep passing it backwards, it's insane, because you're garbage. Because if he
can I figure in regards to that, I didn't mention this before. The guy was, sometimes you have to play back to get players forward, and sometimes like I say, he's like that goal where he just stood still and he just bounced off him into the net. He's playing checkers. Chess.
Yes, you said it right. You exactly what you said. He was playing checkers
while he's playing chess. This is what I'm trying to say. He's way ahead of the game, and the goal.
He's not even playing checkers. He's playing Connect Four.
He was Messi-esque. It was Messi-esque. The way he opened up his body and just rolled it into the bottom left corner. Yeah, that was Messi. That reminded me of the great Messi.
So back to the Savinho's ineptitude. So then he's there, and the 3 times he tried to take his guy going left to right. Now the ball got taken off him, and I know that the defender was kind of like, whenever he saw Savinho, he was like, and then I'm being honest, when I was there, and the funny thing was, the funny thing is, I said this right, and I haven't played a ball in a little while. And I said, you know what Savinho's doing, I literally could get on the field right now in the clothes I have right now and do the same thing. Because they passed him the ball. Said he did a step over, and then he passed it backwards. I could have done that. I wouldn't have taken anyone on either. Not only could I have done what Savinho did, I could have did what the defender who was defending him did, because the defender just stood there and then watched him pass the ball backwards, and then he just like, okay, whatever. Now, the second half, when Savinho's in there, I'm like, Jesus Christ. And they made the subs, right? So they made the sub, and they took Foden off, who Foden had a very good game. I'm glad to see Foden looking better and looking like himself. So whatever the demons he was dealing with, I hope they're asleep. and they brought Shirky on. No, they brought Doku on first, and then they brought Shirky on. And literally, it took Shirky doing 99% of the work, where he said, hey, man, I'm going to just send it through. I brought the defender completely to me. And I did 99% of the work, and he just slips it through, and Savinho stuck his foot out, and it went where it was supposed to go. And then he went to celebrate, and then he hurt himself. And then he literally hurt himself after he slipped. He did the knee slide, got up, and was like, oh, my leg. Then Shirky did the same play again, came back, and then he tried to take a shot, and the ball hitting him on his foot caused his whole leg to fall apart, and then he couldn't run no more. What are we doing, man? What are we doing? There will be no apologies because he's garbage. Stop it. You stop it. Stop it.
Ali wants proof. Ali wants proof.
Yeah,
get out of here, man.
We want to see some lightning quick. Some lightning quick.
Moves. The guy opened his body.
No. You know what? Because y'all want to, I'm gonna do this one day this week or next week. I'm gonna go find me a football field, and I'm gonna go pull the clips of what Savinho did in the first half, and then I'm gonna get somebody to stand next to me and do the same thing. And I promise you'll be like, I don't know if that's Savinho or Nez, because it will literally be the same thing. He didn't do nothing. I can do that. Stop it.
No, there's I could easily do that if I'm taking 10, 20 shots and trying to do the same thing. Obviously, Savinho does it in one shot. You take 10 or 20 shots to do it. You know.
Man, shut up, man. Like,
I can't wait. I can't
Dude
wait to
is
post
literally.
this.
Hey, what was the result of that game, man? He said he watched the Lens PSG game. What was the result?
PSG lost.
Did they lose?
Did PSG lose to Lens?
No, they won. They won 2-0. No,
yeah,
PSG won 2-0. So that's the league. The league's done.
That's the league's
for
them.
Of course, because that league's legit. Dembele plays 9 games and gets player of the season because that makes total sense.
Hey, man, I got nothing on that one. I got nothing.
Mason Greenwood, who I know is taboo or whatever, but he has double stats in goals and assists.
Well, we already know that France football, who governs Ballon d'Or, obviously has influence on Lyon. And since their current Ballon d'Or holder has had a great, and we got to give him credit, he has had a great Champions League when he plays. He's looked great. And he literally, because since he's come back, has moved from off of the chart to 3rd or 4th on the Ballon d'Or list. And, hey, man, at the end of the day, I have no idea what we're supposed to take from that, especially since Lens was forced to push this game back weeks and weeks and weeks to this day for PSG to be like, we're going to cruise through this one because we're in super duper form, because they are. We can't pretend like they're not. They're in super duper form. For them to walk it to now, how many games are left in the season? Hold on, man. How many games? I think it's one more league game.
One?
Yeah, it's one more league game, and it's against Paris FC. It's a derby. They will not care at all. At all. And Paris FC's stadium is next to their stadium. So they don't care. They're going to play the game. I might be. You think I'm going to do a video of me doing what Savinho did? I could go play in the PSG team next week, and I'll do the same thing. Like I'll literally do the same. I can just
Enrique, let me get a contract for one game.
They can hire me for that.
It'll take you 20 takes to do what Savinho did in one.
There's no way, man. Do you know the skill, the practice, the precision, and concentration this man had to have to fall down that gracefully? I mean, good.
Exactly. He hit the ball so hard and he twisted his body so in such a graceful way that he injured himself at the same time.
Like how you get injured shooting the ball, man? How you get injured shooting the dang ball? And nobody touched him. Nobody touched him and he got injured.
Because he was so concentrated on getting, focused, and then he didn't think about his own health.
Hey, and JT's point
leaving
about
it all on the
Lens
line.
manager, I'm gonna agree with JT's point about the Lens manager. Lens and whoever is a part of their recruitment department, they own it. Because we thank you for Abdelkadir Kusanov. Because yes, sir, we appreciate that. They got ballers there. They lost the best defender on their team, and they came in second to PSG and took them down to the last 2 games. I'm gonna give them credit for that.
Yeah, props, absolutely. Props.
What are we doing?
One more Savinho comment.
Stop it. Can we stop it? What are we doing? Can we stop it?
Weeping at the beauty. Just weeping at the beauty.
Are we serious, man?
I just put it onto the group chat as soon as he scored. I was like, the legend. So it's come
the legend. Kusanov is definitely a baller. Agreed. Speaking of Savinho, Banger around in the building.
Do it, man. Hey, cut it out. Y'all cut it. Where's my sage? I got to get my magic rocks.
What?
I need my sage, because what are we talking about right now?
Yo, big up to you, Arun. What an entrance. What an entrance from my man right here. That
Arun, you came in right at the right time.
What are we doing?
Arun. That was beautiful.
What are we doing?
Beautiful. We are moving on to the FA Cup final at the weekend. Man City boosted by a nice victory tonight versus Palace. But are we going to see the Chelsea we saw at Anfield? Or are we going to see the Chelsea we saw in the 6 games before? What are we thinking?
Well, you know, the thing is, and I'm going to stop it. Why Arun? I didn't come at you with nothing, man. I didn't come at you with nothing. This is what we do. This is what we do right here, Arun. This is how we do. Hey, Arun. Hey, I'm serious,
Arun,
man.
By the way, I was gonna say I heard your music last week. Enjoyed it as well.
Really, man?
Yeah,
That's what we doing. What are we doing? Hey, I told him, because I don't know if we asked this on this question, but I was at the supporters group and I said, you know what? The boys on the pod asked me a question and I have to tell you what the answer was. I said, I was asked if Savinho offered me his jersey when I go to the game, would I take it? And I said, no, I would not take it. I would shake his hand and say, thank you, for saying hello. And then I would walk away. That's exactly what would happen. And if he offered me the jersey, I'd be like, hey, I'm good. It's a little sweaty and I don't want your jersey. I'm being honest. And it'll be sweaty from sitting on the bench.
No. Don't worry, Les. I'm going to the game. I will take it for you. so we can
there you go.
Sure we can get a picture of you.
Arun, come on, man.
The Brazilian sticker.
That's what I'm talking about, JT. You tell him, JT. Savinho was also not included in the 55-man list, but Neymar with one leg was.
I'm being invaded currently. Say hey to the people, Flynn. Say hey to the people.
Really, Ali? Oh, what's up, Flynn?
Hey to everybody, Flynn.
That's a question. That is a question. I want to ask you this.
He's not. First of all, he's not going to play in the weekend because he's injured.
If he comes,
he hurt himself.
He's injured.
You never know. He might make a recovery.
Bro, are we serious?
You never heard of those pain-killing injections that they have? You never know. He could do it. He could come back. If he does,
plays, thanks, JT. Big up. Thank you.
If he plays and he scored, would you celebrate the goal, Liz?
No. You know, the funny thing is, I didn't celebrate his goal today. I didn't. Somebody literally said to me, "There's like, what if Savinho saved our season?" I'm like, if you people don't get out my face with this, get out of my face with this garbage that we saying. Stop it. Just stop it.
Man.
I celebrated because I knew I was doing the pod today. I was celebrating his goal.
I love that our entire Man City section has turned into a Savinho glazing session. I love that. He deserves it. He deserves all the plaudits, all the flowers in the world. But I agree, Nez. I doubt he'll start.
I don't wish injury on anybody. I wish him a recovery. I don't know how speedy. I wish it, but I do wish a recovery for him. It's unfortunate that he'll miss the next 3 games, but
he'll be back. He'll be back. He'll make a quick return.
What it is. We'll go back to our
win. Win is in his name.
Really? This is what we're doing.
This is beautiful.
Savino.
I'm really enjoying this, honestly.
Savino. That's what we doing.
Savino. Yeah, man, he's killing
First of all, the man's name is Savio. First of all, his name is Savio. No. It's Savino. Hey, man, I've literally given you hard evidence on why this guy is well below. Hey, I'm not even going to divert from the Savino thing. I was talking to somebody, and this is what they said. I said, hey, man, I said what I said about Savino to you all. And somebody said, hey, well, you know what? I'm trying to think about somebody who I feel like that about on the team myself. And then they said Rico Lewis. And I said, you know what? Rico Lewis is probably correct, but here's what Pep does to Rico that helps eliminate what we're dealing with right now. Rico ain't even on the bench. Rico ain't even nowhere near the team. And no, I already said he didn't make the 55-man team.
It's a shame. It's an absolute tragedy.
I said Neymar on one leg made the 55-man team. What are we talking about?
How did he not make the team?
How did he not make it? That is just disgraceful.
That's incredible. There's no way he didn't make the team.
Yeah, exactly.
That's corruption.
Second, real quick, Ali. If you cooking steaks well done at a Brazilian steakhouse, you have no taste. Stop that. Who cooking steaks well done? Who eating rubber? Who was Captain Phillips? I don't know who that is.
Calvin Phillips.
Yes, he is. He is 1,000% better than him. How am I deflecting? I literally talked about what he did in the game and how he was garbage and how I could have done the exact same thing. And
deflecting.
Anthony. Now Anthony's balling at Betis. Hey man, send Savino back to Girona.
Yep.
And then bring Echeverry back, and then we'll be fine. Let him do what he was doing. And
No.
Asif needs this in his life. It's the only thing giving him pleasure because Liverpool suck.
Yeah, we also.
Well, you know what? Let him go to one of your teams.
Savio's the spicy Anthony. Gotcha. Is he even spicy? I don't know. Is he the refried beans Anthony? I guess
the man literally got injured scoring.
That's not funny. That's
not funny at all. How could you do that? How could you say that? This is a poor, unfortunate man scoring for your team, and this is how you treat him.
It's a disgrace.
Now hold on. Let's watch out this Girona getting relegated because that's another thing. While we don't talk tons about other teams, I just want you to recognize Girona getting relegated is not real because Girona's on 39 points, and so is Levante, Mallorca. Who's that?
Elche.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 teams on 39 points. There's one team on 40 points, and then there are 1, 2, 3 teams on 42 points, which is literally just a swing. And there are 2 games left. Literally from 12 to 19, you are in danger of being relegated.
Nez, by the way, just gonna say you are ahead. You are ahead on goal difference by one Savio goal.
Yes.
You know what? Hey man, now all the jokes is this. Because while we think it's funny right now, all I know is Arsenal drop points, and if the Savio goal is what wins City the league, then what? Well, that's because we should win. Like, realistically, we're not going to take advantage of it. This is 4 FA Cup finals in a row. They won the first one, lost the next 2. Embarrassingly to Man United, who deserved to win that day because City was drunk on the field, and they admitted it later. And then Palace, they just played like trash against Palace. And so now they get Chelsea, and Chelsea look like utter garbage too. So you got to show up. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Can we get this out? What are we doing? What are we doing?
No, I think.
What are we doing?
Should win the FA Cup.
We play the games on the field, sir.
And yeah, you just the way they play at the moment.
It's because he's shit.
But yeah, I can't see past the Man City win at the moment.
I can't either.
I mean, I don't assume. If they play the start lineup and they play how they're supposed to, and Pep obviously rested the people who needed to be rested, but the team should play well, hopefully. And, they should win, hopefully. But, he's injured. You literally watched him get injured.
Oh, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If y'all get it over the line, why not?
Goal difference. I swear to God, this.
You know what? I'll give you that. No, I won't. I was going to lie. I'm not going to do that. I was going to lie. I'm not doing that. I won't even say the lie.
One goal less. What are you going to do? I just wanted to ask.
No.
Just a little bit from a neutral point of view on the FA Cup final. Lumen, in my another loyal watcher of the channel, supporter of the channel, was in my watch along for the City Palace game just now and asked me what I would say, how Chelsea could beat City. And I sat there and waffled for 5 to 6 minutes before I realized I just don't see it. But like I always say when you're playing Manchester City, if Cole Palmer's got to show up, that's one. Cole Palmer's got it, which isn't likely. But you got to punch him in the mouth. If Chelsea sit back and try to soak up and counter, they'll get destroyed. They'll be decimated because City may have looked a little bit lackluster as far as energy is concerned tonight. A lot of side to side, a lot of back and forth, a lot of Savinho doing amazing stuff. But I think that if Chelsea sit back and try to do what Palace did, they'll take a 3-0 as well. Yes, it could be dicey trying to go blow for blow with Man City, obviously, but I think they should play Liam Delap in front of João Pedro. Because if João Pedro makes runs from deeper and he plays as the deeper lying forward, that's how you break the high line. Whether it's Barcelona, whether it's Big Ange, whether it's Pep. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Runs from deep, break high lines, right? So if they get, 3 at the back, play a 5-3-2 with Liam Delap in front of João Pedro, and Chelsea are dog shit at build-up play from the back, right? And Man City are fantastic in high press at making high turnovers. So Chelsea just shouldn't F around with trying to play it from the back. Have Sanchez knock it to Delap in the channels and get João Pedro from underneath deeper runs to break the high line. That's like the only tactic I think they really will have it, because unless they win the ball high up the pitch, put a couple of passes and get a quick shot, something clinical, something lethal, they're not going to play through the press. Palace struggled mightily. And I know Palace are not, no one's sitting here saying Palace are the greatest tiki-taka build-up team you've ever seen, but they had no chance. They did nothing in build-up play versus City tonight. And City are an elite pressing team. Pep's team have always pressed well and counter-pressed well. The way Palace would win the ball, like right at the top of the box, and 3 City players would swarm immediately, that will destroy Chelsea. You'll eat them for breakfast, man. You'll absolutely destroy them. This is sad. This is a sad day because it's gonna be tough for City without Savio, without their legend, their talisman, of course. But
Good man. What are we doing?
I didn't see that coming. That's great. That's fantastic. That is beautiful stuff.
The funny thing is real quick, looking at the lineup. So Gavardiol came back, which was huge. Yeah. But I think I mentioned this on here. I said he's going to get back because he wants to play before the World Cup. because he needs to be in form for the World Cup.
Croatia. Yeah.
Croatia, yeah.
And so he was playing left back, which is where he's actually his most dangerous. And
he'd be good in the championship.
I don't know how you should be happy about that. You always wanted him to leave.
Well, no, hold on. So here's the thing that's crazy, right? So City apparently turned down 70 million for him.
Idiots.
And
idiots.
For that class player, they should ask for more.
Yeah, are they serious? That is a disgrace of an offer. That's just an embarrassment of an offer. At least 150, at least.
You have to break Isak.
So I look at that because they believe in something, and so they started talking about next season, and I don't know because like looking at the lineup, so Gvardiol played left back. I feel confident, even though I'm a little nervous about because Pep likes to tinker. I'm a little nervous, but I think the back line will bring O'Reilly back because O'Reilly wasn't even in the team today. So O'Reilly will start at left back. Mm-hmm. And you have Gahey and Kusanov, but Diaz is healthy. And so my personal concern is Pep loves Diaz, and I really hope he doesn't play him over Gahey. I just really hope he doesn't do that and not sacrifice Kusanov either. Because he'll look at matchups. Rodri was out because of discomfort, which means he'll probably play. Nico Gonzalez also was not in the team at all. So I think if he goes with the lineup of the same back four we've doing, obviously Trafford is going to start in goal. And then you have Semenyo played the whole game, which was a bit weird that he did that, but which means he may or may not start. But if they obviously Semenyo, Doku wings, Haaland in the middle, with Shirky played a few minutes, so he'll play, and then Bernardo. I expect him to play that. If he tinkers it with it, I'll say that's where the concern would come in, because when you start tinkering with systems that work, you get weird, different stuff. So I think that's one area that I think there is a concern is if Pep tinkers. If he plays the regular starting lineup, I think we'll be fine because you should be playing to win. But, it kind of is what it is. But I was also happy to see that John Stones got in and got some run because, they've it's official that he is leaving. So Bernardo, and it's funny, and to see I was going to send you this from the 20th to the 24th, they're doing a Stones and Silva something thing at a pub where they're giving out special beer for that. And they have like they have a throwback from the Umbro. I actually happen to have an Umbro one. From the Umbro days, and they're doing like special like drink specials for that. The first I think a couple hundred people in the door get a free pint. So I'm like, hey, that's on. But I'm not gonna. I will avoid overlooking this for two reasons. One, based on I think either JT or Ali said it, or it may have been Arun. City have lost the last two. I mentioned it, but again, they won one, lost two. You got to take these. That's why I don't know. That's why I made the mention as Semenyo, because he played the whole game, and there was really no reason for him to play the whole game, which makes me think he may not start in the next one. And I think Foden may start instead of Semenyo. Okay. What the
That's messed up. Oh man.
What are you talking about? Yeah. So JT. So that's why I point about the tinkering. I hope he doesn't tinker, because at a minimum you got to win the next one, which is the FA Cup final. At least, go all out for that. Yes, you want to win the league, but there's one in hand. Go get that one. Arun, I don't do watch-alongs because I actually don't talk to people when I watch the game. It's probably a weird thing for me. Like the guys know, like I don't answer text messages or anything. My phone is on do not disturb.
Radio silence.
My mom has called me before and said, "Hey, I was calling. Hey, man, not during the game. You not.
Nah.
Not during the game." Now she's the only one whose number can get through my phone on the do not disturb. But outside of that, hey man, you better call me 17 times so I know it's a real thing. Because otherwise,
no, unless you're a woman, good-looking woman.
Yeah, those big booty Latinas, right?
I got proof, mate. I got proof.
I ain't answered no call during no game. What you talking about, man?
Cali.
What game was in Cali? No, nah. Because Because did we go somewhere and watch the game?
No,
we watched it in the Airbnb.
Yeah, Airbnb.
I'm not. I was like, hey man, leave me alone. I got. You saw me. I was rude. Nah, man. Don't nobody disturb me while I'm watching the game. Nah, man. I don't.
You need to come with some glass. You need to come with some round spectacles next week.
Wait, hold on. I got some square ones. How about this?
Some round spectacles. Yeah.
Bang.
There he is. Professor Neds. Yeah, there he is.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me.
You got like a fedora back there.
Do I have a? Nah, I do. No, I don't. I don't have.
Oh my God.
No, I have hats though, but no. But I don't. But I get it. Well, first of all, she was Colombian. She was Colombian, not Brazilian. I haven't gone into the Brazilian foray yet, but yeah, I won't make any comments about that. But no, yeah.
Oh, this stream has been amazing. This stream has been absolutely incredible. The only thing I'll say on the game itself.
Well, hold on. Now, JT said Semenyo can't start with Holland. Did he not watch the last 6 games where Semenyo played the wing and Holland was the striker? Are we missing it? Because it was Semenyo and Doku on the wings. And
I think they're definitely going to do that because you're going to clog the middle of the pitch like you've been doing. We've spoken on here about how Semenyo comes way narrow.
But that's not how he's been playing. But have we missed the last game? Semenyo was holding the width on the right, and Doku was attacking on the left. Like they've literally started together like the last 4 games.
They were definitely pretty narrow today. And I think they should go with that as well.
He was the striker, but Semenyo was the striker today.
They should go with that as well. I think they will, because if you clog the middle of the pitch versus Chelsea, they're going to give you the ball. They're going to make lots of mistakes. They're hot dog water at build up. They've been terrible all season trying to build up from the back. So if y'all do that and you get Semenyo close to Holland, Arun, dude, you've just sealed it. He's scoring now. He's definitely going to score now because of what you've said here.
In the Carabao Cup final, didn't Holland score that game? No, he didn't score in that game. Nope. He had an assist in that game, right? It was an assist.
Maybe, yeah. I'm not sure.
He didn't score no.
He's using inside forwards for waste with Holland. I think they work well together. I think they'll figure it out and they'll improve.
But we've literally won the last how many games with those two playing? What are we talking about? They've literally started together. Go look at the team sheets. They played together.
Yeah, I do think that they will play together in this one as well, but segues are weird. Speaking of Chelsea not being amazing, they went to Anfield and came up versus another not really amazing team. What happened? I personally underestimated Chelsea's fuck Liverpool gene that they just flipped a switch. We've been shit for 6 games, but we don't like Liverpool, so we're going to play better. I don't know what happened. What are you saying, Asif?
We were shit, basically.
That's
nothing. I want, like I keep saying it every week. I want Slot gone, but it doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon. Yeah, I said it. I was telling the guys while he was on. I was like, Jake was like, "Oh, I can see like you guys going on and getting a few more," and I was like, "No." I actually said that to him as well. I was like, "Nah."
Yeah, right at the beginning. Yeah, I remember that.
And yeah, I'm just hoping that we somehow get Champions League and then get rid of that ball. And yeah, that's it. That's basically.
I think it's still false news. I think it's still fake news.
He's not going to Chelsea. No. If he had
here's the thing. I agreed initially, but the fact that Jose may really be going back to Real Madrid makes it believable that
maybe another billion will fix Man United. But...
Oh, yeah.
Are you telling me money is not enough for a team to win?
No. I think that for me, the whole the permutations or the reasons Alonso would go to Chelsea or wouldn't go to Chelsea, none of it matters because what really matters with Chelsea is he's going to have to deal with their ownership.
But that's why I said the thing about Blue Coat, which I don't believe.
Yeah, I don't believe that shit either. And he knows that, right? And so if he goes there, it's just for money. That's like the only motivation, right? And for me, let's look at the historic career Xabi Alonso's had. How long was he at Liverpool? Legend. How long was he at Real Madrid? Legend. And did he get paid pennies for this? I certainly don't think so. Did he play for Bayern Munich as well?
Short time.
And then I'm sure that he, his work for Leverkusen was pro bono. He just did that because he felt like it. And then Madrid obviously didn't pay him anything, at all. Obviously, and so, yeah, Chelsea can get him because they can flash a bunch of, no, they cannot. They're not going to flash a bunch of money at Xabi Alonso and be like, look, do whatever the F we say and we'll give you a giant check. Dude's already millionaire, lots and lots and lots of millions. So the rest of the situation there is a dumpster fire. He would be crazy.
I agree with everything you say and still wouldn't be surprised if he's appointed.
I would be shocked. I'd be absolutely shocked. I cannot imagine who would do that to their career. I would do that to my career. I would go coach Chelsea. Sure. You could, whatever you say. Yeah, I'll stand here and be a figurehead. That's fine. I don't give a shit. Xabi Alonso has pedigree. He has actual teams that aren't dumpster fires. Well, Liverpool maybe. But, he has a chance to go to a team that's not in an absolute plane crash nosedive.
Liverpool is a very interesting one because I still don't understand why they're holding on to Slot, man. Like, I really don't understand it. I don't.
I've said the same thing.
What's in the contract? There's got to be something in the contract.
He must have Savinho's agent.
Right? Yeah. I mean, what do you mean name the club, JT? Like, who's going to take anyone but? I'm not going to Chelsea. Why would I go to Chelsea? Why? There's no reason if I'm Alonso to go to Chelsea. There's no reason.
No, I don't think a big manager will take the job.
I don't think a big manager will. Unless Bluco shows clear signs of changing how they run things. And until they do, any respectable manager would be ludicrous to torch their career by going and working for that ownership.
Yeah, I don't get
ludicrous.
Okay, name anyone. It could be Areola.
They want Areola as well, but he'd be stupid to do it too. I think he's too good of a manager. Look what he's done for Bournemouth.
Fabregas has done a great job at Como. I know
Fabregas shouldn't go there either.
But
I need to know why they didn't get Big Sam yet. Because Big Sam is the answer, sir. Big Sam. Is Big Sam still managing? I mean, I made a comment without knowing. Or we got to go with Roy. Roy is the answer too. Roy or Big Sam.
Oh man, Ali.
Or Mourinho's going to
if he wasn't going to Madrid, maybe.
Or we forgot two people. I got two people for you. First, Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso would fit for that. If it's not Ted Lasso, I got a better one. The Wonder Kid. The Wonder Kid has to go. If it's not Big Sam or Roy, it got to be Ted Lasso or the Wonder Kid because look what he did for the Bubbles.
Arun, a serious manager that cares about their career and doesn't give a shit about money. That was my point about the fact that no one in Xabi Alonso's career ever paid him anything, did they? They didn't pay him shit. He's broke. He's broke. You know what I mean?
But
I see what you're saying, JT. I see what you're saying, JT. Yeah, I get it. I don't know.
Arteta ain't going nowhere. What are they talking about? He's literally not going anywhere. Like the next manager in like 10 years?
Yeah, I agree.
Arteta ain't going nowhere. What are we talking about?
I agree with that. Fabregas will move on before Arteta does. That's absolutely for sure. But I think that, The only thing I can think of as far as the game at Anfield was that Chelsea just legitimately were like, we don't like Liverpool, so we're going to actually show up to play it. And where was that fight from the home team?
His substitutions as well. He took Rio off. And I remember in the chat, I was like, what the fuck's he doing?
Yeah.
Taking him off. And,
yeah,
just questionable decisions like that. And
But see, this is why I can't like pass the FA Cup on as like a walkover, because you still have to play games on the field.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it. But speaking of games that you still have to play, he did say that, JT. That's true. There is a big one. An actual, for all intents and purposes, it's a Champions League. Who's going to finish fourth? Playoff game. Is that one at Anfield or are you at Villa Park? Liverpool do play Aston Villa this week.
Is that Villa Park?
There you go.
Because they're Brentford's at home.
And so I don't know about Villa, but if Liverpool can, just get it over the line and just be done with it and just, don't have to worry about the last day of the season. Personally, for me, I hope you smoke Villa. I hope you smoke them so that they need to play against City to make Champions League. Because if Bournemouth win their last two games, and I know one of those is against you, Nez, but if Bournemouth have a chance to overtake Villa in the league. Yeah, exactly. Liverpool, it's going to be a stinky game, I agree. And they still need 3 points.
One thing, when on the subject of Bournemouth, Kroupy's my young player of the year.
Yeah. Try to sign him in the summer, you think?
Young player of the year, what? For the league?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got like 12 goals or something like that.
Are you crazy? I know y'all ain't sitting here watching Nico O'Reilly go pick somebody other than him. You crazy. You crazy.
No. I think he's
you crazy.
No, but
there's
Rico
no way.
Lewis.
If we're using goals for that, then how can Jake say Declan Rice for the Ballon d'Or, right? Like, what are we talking about?
I'm not talking about just goals. His overall play, I think he's done well.
Yeah.
Nico O'Reilly.
What are you
talking about?
No, Nico O'Reilly as well. He's another candidate.
Nico O'Reilly is the young player of the year. There's no one will convince me different than that. There's few things I stand 10 toes down on. You missing? There's no way.
Fair enough.
To a title challenge team. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, everyone's got their own personal preference. I just think Kroupy is my personal preference. I just think the way he plays, the way he hits the ball without that much of a backlift. I think he's for young player of the year. I think he's not playing. He doesn't play for Manchester City. He plays for a very normal Bournemouth side, which is why I rate him a little bit higher, because he's not playing with Haaland. He's not playing with Semenyo. He don't have Cherky around him. He has normal players around him, but he still stands out. That's my.
And Haaland has literally been, just real quick, Haaland's been off it. There's guys who haven't been played great, and Nico O'Reilly literally has carried City to where they are. Are we missing what happened in mid-season?
No, I'm not saying it could be either of the two. I'm not saying, but I
hear you.
Saying he doesn't have the level of players that.
If the level of players not playing good, it doesn't matter what their name is if they're not performing. Haaland went how many weeks without scoring a goal?
Yeah, but Kroupy wasn't even getting in the team at the beginning of the season.
Nico O'Reilly couldn't get in the team at all before, and he came in as the starting left back for Man City and in the national team like that.
He was but like I say, Kroupy did not even get a sniff till December, more or less. He was coming off the bench every single time but he's stuck at it. So, no, I'm not saying O'Reilly's not.
I know you're not saying he's not. I get that. Like, I know one thing is not like the negation of the other. I agree with that. I get that.
I think it's pretty close for me, but scoring 2 goals in a final to win 2-0 is pretty flipping big. I'll say that, but yeah, man. The Liverpool Villa game is big for sure. Yeah, it's not a crazy shot, of course not.
But I'm not saying that. I didn't say it was
Liverpool Villa is definitely a big game. We'll see how, I think Palace were affected because they're, not necessarily trying to go balls to the wall in their last 3 games, still already saving it for Europe, for Conference League. Villa is kind of looking the same way. That was a dismal performance versus Burnley. The curse of the end of the season Emery is striking, and so I think that Liverpool are going to pick up the 3 points.
Well, the thing is that if we're going to,
you said that last week, Jake. Don't say it again, please.
But no. Here's real quick. Here's the thing that you should notice. I don't know if I sent you this one because I've been busy with work, but apparently because we know Villa is in the Europa League final and the Count has won all but one. And every team he's won with had Villa in their name. And he happens to be with the team that has Villa in their name. So I think Villa knows they got the hoodoo to win what they know they need to do for the Europa. So they're like, hey, man, we good. We'll draw or something like that, and we'll be fine, and it won't matter.
So Sevilla, Villarreal, what's the other one? Just those two? Those two. And
then Arsenal was the other one, and then Aston Villa.
Aston Villa, yeah. There you go.
So yeah. Now, hey man, real quick, Arun said something about the Carrick thing, which I kind of agree. Like I think he earned it based on the performances, but like him being appointed is something significant because it's sort of the opposite of what's going on at Chelsea. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear.
Now, I didn't come up with that stat, man. I saw that stat on the internet. I don't take any credit for it. But so I get Arun's point. Like cause there's Man United supporters that I know that don't love the appointment, which is funny because I think Man United has this mentality that their manager should come with a name.
Mm-hmm.
And Carrick is not a name. They have always seen him as a caretaker, which is a little insulting for their guy. Share the theory, man. I'm trying to hear it because I don't understand. Are they trying to fire him next year? What's going on?
I mean, they've gone from a 30% win rate to a 70% win rate under Carrick.
And they secured Champions League.
And yeah, who would have thunk that from 15th to 3rd? There ain't no managers clearly better available.
Based on what's there and who knows the system.
What? What?
Hey, Arun, do you think?
You're right. I don't usually agree with you, but on this occasion,
I feel like I have to read this. Right? You hooking up with someone, it's going great. Everything good. Dating them will ruin the fun
Carrick,
and end up breaking up. So you hook up and dating should be separate. I absolutely understand.
He's saying Carrick is a hookup.
He said Carrick is a jump off. Like, hey man, man. Oh, you available? Good. Oh, now I got a real girl. I can't talk to you now.
Yeah. Oh, the problem is, like you said here, JT. The problem, JT said it right here. What other girls are out there?
Well, to JT's point. Oh, dang, man. Oh,
lots of bold. Oh. Which kind of bold woman do you see? But
hey, man. Hey, I've seen a couple of bald women, by choice that was like, okay, they kind of cute. They just can't look masculine in the face because then that's a man. But if it's a woman,
what kind of women you have over there?
Now, hey, man, I'm
he lives in DC, bro. He lives in DC, man.
I'm gonna say,
hey, I'll find some pictures. What? What?
No.
What? That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh my God.
The craziest stream of all time.
Oh man. Hey man, he did win one. Hey, you know, even though the baby's daddy was Klopp, he still delivered the baby and he took care of the baby like it was his own.
People that do it, you know, let her fend for herself.
Oh my god.
Hey man, and they in England, they gotta do that. The woman gotta sign up for that program, you know, that they can get the house.
It's not like you dated them. She gave you a baby now. She was a section.
What are we doing? What are we doing? What?
Oh no!
Hey,
I think oh god!
I don't know. Sometimes the streets are calling. You know?
Yeah, it sounds like they are. Oh my god! Here we go.
You know the funny thing, real quick.
What does this stream become?
To JT's point about like there's being no candidates, I agree, but then I'm gonna push back for this reason. If there are no candidates available to fill big jobs, don't we have a problem in the candidate pool? Like that's a giant problem.
No, it just takes one leaving, and then there's a whole merry-go-round.
No, but but what I'm saying is, why are there no like? Okay, we know over at Como we got Fabregas, and
Arteta's the kind of girl that leads you on.
Oh my god, bro! What?
What are we doing?
What is happening right now?
What are we doing?
Oh my god!
Yes, JT, the manager market is, but it shouldn't be. So, I mean, didn't we mention the Lawns manager? So we got the Lawns manager. We got I just said you got Cesc Fabregas. There got to be some other guys out there. I think that's a bigger issue is that we're lacking the pool. And
I'm just going to use this analogy now that Aaron's used. I was like, yes, Aaron, Slot's like one of those girls you dated. It was fun while it lasted. And then you got all serious, and now you need to break up with her because she's getting a bit too clingy.
Yeah.
I got nothing, man.
It's definitely worth the wait, JT. Definitely worth the wait. Oh my god. Well, I think on that note, we might close out possibly one of the greatest streams we've ever had here on the channel.
Hey, parental advisory at the beginning because we don't know.
For real.
We don't know.
No, I always check the not for kids. I always check the not
we
for
don't
kids.
know. Don't say we not for kids over here. We don't do that.
Definitely not.
Rated PG, everything above adult.
Our first TV MA. Keep the happy memories of the
like what we Arne Tussie? What are we doing, man? What are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? What is that? What?
I mean, whatever it is, it's worth the 6-year wait.
I'm gonna say that must be some good Tussie.
I got nothing, man. I got nothing.
Well, if the Tussie can lift the trophy, that's all I'm worried about.
Yeah, just
I got nothing, man. Because what?
Oh my god! Well, that was absolutely incredible. I enjoyed that. I hope you have enjoyed that as much as we
tell
have.
Your friends. Get them likes up, man.
Yeah, smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, of course. Share this on all your socials. Tell your friends because it was hilarious tonight. It was indeed a diabolical stream, and there is lots more coming down the funnel as well. So go ahead and get the notification bell on as well. Share it across the socials. Do all that good stuff. Thanks again for being here, and we'll see us next time.